أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين اللهم أنت ربي خلقتني لا إله إلا أنت وأنا عبدك وعلى عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت وأعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت وأبوء لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amen. Everyone, welcome. And our friend Anne is going to try to summarize the intermediate uh, intermediate realm of existence, which is strange. And we promise that with the help of our friends all together, we will handle it. Yeah, we will share our understandings, but Anne will start the discussion or introduction, summary of last week and
Inshallah.
introduction to today's
Mm.
point, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, so last week we stayed on the 23rd word, second point, for almost the whole time. And at the very beginning of the second point, we talked about how Nursi said that the two mountains in his vision were the beginning and end of life. That is this world and the intermediate realm. So I stopped and asked the question, what is it meant by intermediate realm, not realizing how complicated the answer is. So I will try to summarize how Brother Ali described it, but clearly not in his, not to his level of understanding. But it was an invaluable discussion, and I encourage everyone to listen to last week's recording where he talks about it. At any rate, the intermediate realm, as I understand it, is a way to make sense of what happens after we die. And it seems it's not discussed in the Quran specifically, but in the Hadith narrations. So Brother Ali used the analogy of after we die, a train or plane, which I like trains, so I'm going to use trains. A train of the universe takes us to a place where either all our needs are met or a place of complete execution. And how do we start feeling about the arrival as the train goes on? the arrival depends on, the answer to this question depends on my perception of the pilot or the conductor of the train. The unbelievers will fear there will be execution at the end because they don't know that there's a pilot they can trust. In contrast, believers will trust the pilot that the arrival, they trust the pilot, number one, and they trust that the pilot will bring them to a place full of pleasure. So they are riding the train or the plane with great anticipation, not with dread or not with fear. And then another way to think about it, the intermediate realm, is that in the Quran, there's 2 times blowing of the trumpet. The first time is declaring the destruction of the universe, and the second time is declaring the resurrection or the realization of human potential. And in between these two is the intermediate realm. We talked about how we should seek refuge in the intermediate realm. And to do that, we should avoid having a negative attitude toward the pilot. We should always trust the pilot or the conductor will treat me with mercy. In the same way, the warnings we have in our time on earth, which is really a period of education, during that period of time on earth, as we are receiving our education, we receive warnings constantly. Often these are things that we don't like, but they are related to our education for the hereafter and for life in the intermediate realm. And so we should never ever criticize the things we don't like. They're always for a purpose because God is most merciful. Brother Ali also talked about the intermediate realm in terms of a seed reaching its full potential as a tree, but depends on the right conditions, which is related to the fact that in the period of resurrection, which is when our human potential is fully realized, it depends on the conditions of the seed, the seed, on the earth during the period of education, whether or not it will become a fully realized tree or not. And that my sort of takeaway or explanation of last week's discussion, but it's much more complicated than what I said. So I'd welcome anyone else to add to your own understanding. Inshallah. Thank you. Does anyone want to add to what I just said or have questions?
Thank you very much. It is almost covered very briefly and beautifully what we have discussed mainly last week. But of course, it is always open to our friends for additional explanations and questions. We would like to hear from them if they have anything else to add or make a comment on it or ask a question if there is some place somewhere that it's not very clear. We would like to hear. What if anybody wants, they can join us anytime and they can interrupt me. I will be pleased. Not, I don't mind only, I will be pleased to be interrupted. Alhamdulillah. So, what I thought about it, it is in the hadith narrations correct, and in the Quran there is no direct uh, uh, reference to intermediate realm of existence, but the figurative way of explaining the Quran when they rise from the graves, we have some sort of existence in grave. That is why uh, they gave the possibility that these hadith narrations also are confirmed by the Quran. But the main reason for the scholars from the Quranic narrations, this blowing the uh, what is that sur? How do you say it in English? Blowing the is there any word?
Is it trumpet?
Trumpet.
Yeah.
Trumpet. Thank you very much for reminding. So, blowing the trumpet, the universe will be destroyed. It means this way of creation will be changed. And in another context, the Quran mentions that the blowing on the trumpet, the people rise from the graves. It means if two types of blowing, there must be two different times. So they said, yes, this hadith narration, but also in the Quran, it is some sort of, not directly, but indirectly given reference to it, because the descriptive way of teaching the Quran demonstrates that people stay somehow in the graves. But we all know that Quran also knows and makes it clear that spirit doesn't die, body dies, but returning the spirit to everybody's individual body and the body's recreation, uh, it means there are two time occasions taking place in two different times. In between, how are we going to understand the life? Nursi explains it, life in grave is like staying in a house and not being in the garden, but watching through the window of this house, intermediate realm of house, the house of the intermediate realm, watching the garden, whether this person is going to be taken out and put in the garden, or looking the window, which looks in a horrible scenery. And the person thinks, I'm going to be taken into this place. What does it represent as far as we read in this second point? If I think, of course, Anne also pointed to this interesting subject, while I am on board, either in the train or in an airplane, doesn't matter, transportation. My window is according to my understanding of my existence while I am in the world. That is my window shows. You thought that this universe has a pilot. Let's take the plain example. This universe has a pilot. We are going to discuss this point in the third point, inshallah, today. This universe has a pilot. It is not an accidental being, cannot be. Impossible to think or to think that the universe has matter has developed by itself. And I was thinking of the emotions of animals. How, for example, everybody talks about it and everybody is excited about it. Every animal has a completely different, but within each of them are perfectly arranged uh, feelings, perfectly. Every animal, if you closely study them, for example, the honeybees, it is heavily studied. Interesting. They communicate with each other by dancing, uh, send message to their friends, and have a completely, it is described in the Quran also, but in a very simple and also from our perspective, not really in a scientific discussion, no, that they communicate with each other. And this communication power, they know how to defend yourself, how to take care of their babies. How these feelings can come out of matter, not just matter. What are they talking about? Body, but none of the animals can be reduced to the level of body, their existence. It is impossible. And also, body's arrangement between brain and heart and lungs and other intestine system, digestive system. This is the arrangement so precise. Billions of degrees of details are taken care of, and every body of animal being is completely different and arranged and perfect within themselves. All of them are perfect. All of them are perfect. What are they talking about, this evolution? It doesn't make sense at all. This is just speculation. When we come to human feelings, it is inexplicable at all. Human emotions, human qualities, it is impossible. Whatever they may say, we are just matter, and matter developed by itself accidentally. That is up to them. They are free to think in this way. All right. If they think we have a pilot, which is in the Quranic language, the Lord of the universe, arranging everything, he must be an absolute being, and because we are his work, his handwork is, if you like, we are his art. He is the artist. How can we imagine as a piece of art, I am a created being, which kind of artist I have? But because of my ability given to me by this artist, I can understand that I must have an artist and everything must have the same artist because we are made all together. Now, this understanding, when I die, and in the example of the seed of a fruit, let's say, or tree, fruit tree. When I am in this world, I have developed this idea. My spirit is educated as a result of my choice with this understanding. So my spirit is taken away, my body is thrown into the back in its origin, made up, not origin, made by, no, made of soil, go to soil. By the creator, it means made of soil, but made by the creator of the universe. It means the pilot of the universe. And my spirit has this consciousness, spirit and feelings don't die. They are not matter. They don't get old. So my practice of we confuse this. This point is important. We have to keep in mind, because my body doesn't function properly, that is my feelings cannot operate properly. For example, if someone is blind, got disease and became blind. Simple example. My spirit wants to see, but my eye as a tool for the spirit cannot see. So I cannot see, but my spirit still wants to see perfectly. So my eye has lost its quality to function as the perfect tool. That's why my spirit is not seeing. Otherwise, my spirit is not getting old. My tools are getting old. Body is getting old. So we have to understand that spirit remains as a conscious being. Of course, the seed example is just an analogy, so we shouldn't really confuse the analogy with reality. This is just analogy to understand the difference. So the difference is my spirit and consciousness keeps it, but when my body doesn't function anymore, loses its life, doesn't become dysfunctional, it is sent away to its original matter. So it becomes a part of soil again. But my spirit keeps this understanding, consciousness, and as if the seed, the tree grown and fruit developed and matured, became ripe, a ripe fruit, and seed in the fruit is developed perfectly. Okay. This seed has the potential to become another tree. But we know that the seed has no consciousness. But assume that the seed represents human spirit. Human spirit is conscious. So seed knows that he wants to be a tree. Spirit knows. Because he didn't deny that its maker arranged the tree, created the tree, and gave the potential into the seed. Now I am not a tree, but my creator is the one who created me while I am alive in the world. My tree was created by him. So I am created by him. since he gave me the potential to become a tree, his window demonstrates a beautiful tree. And this man, when am I going to give him this tree? In the intermediate realm, this seed represents a conscious human being, expects that it is going to be a tree, but it is in the seed for the moment. Now, this is the example of the person on the airplane, or in the airplane on board, where we are going to be taken to a beautiful forest, and I will be a conscious tree there, because his spirit is trained, educated in the world. While being in the world, his spirit is now trusting the pilot that during this period of transmission, first blowing the trumpet is, my life is taken from this world and put into an airplane. The second blowing of the trumpet is, okay, airplane is landed out. Now everybody will go to his own permanent residence. If a person representing the seed again, but there is no such seed, of course, this is just an analogy, thought that I myself accidentally developed into a tree, and the tree died and everything is finished, so I'm going to disappear from existence. Or, yeah, this understanding has no hope. So go back to the airplane example. He is in the airplane, as Anne said at the very beginning. In the airplane, uh, I accidentally existed. I am accidentally in this state, and I am accidentally going to be thrown again into non-existence. This feeling represents the window of the person watching. I'm going to be destroyed soon. I'm going to be destroyed soon. Disappear, disappear, disappear. So one window shows paradise, represents paradise. The other window represents hell. Depending on how I uh, prepared myself, how I educated my spirit, how I interpreted, understood the reality of this existence while I am in the world. That is why Quran always say very clearly, بَلْ رَانَ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. We put them on the airplane, if you like. I mean, we put a lock on their heart. It means this understanding. That's it. You develop this understanding, you are going to be treated in this way. Why? Because of what you have gained, what you have developed, what you have uh, chosen in order to understand your perfect existence as a result of accident, and deny that this universe has a pilot. Now you are in the airplane, the transmission period in this intermediate realm is transition period from one body, which is rotten and not functioning, dysfunctioning, another body according to your expectation, according to your decision. Now, I'm going to treat you as you thought of me. If someone favors you something, If you take the favor, whatever he gives you, or he or she, you said, I found it. I happened to be accidentally, just I found it. Now, do you thank the man? No. At all, do you respect? And do you need to ask the man, why did you give me this favor? What am I going to do? You said, oh, that I found it. I'm going to do something. And when it becomes dysfunctional, and you think, that's it. I accidentally happened to be toppled on a lost thing there. And it was, anyway, purposeless. And if this becomes dysfunctional, and you are sure that it will become dysfunctional, everybody is sure that these are all analogies. My body will not function, and I will die, and I will become dysfunctional. If I mean, not me, inshallah, but this kind of people think that when they die, they will disappear. Okay, do they have any hope? And does the man who gave this gift to him would like to give him again? So uh, dishonest person, so arrogant person who took it and destroyed the perfect present into a meaningless piece of toy. I'm not going to give you this precious, for example, laptop again because you thought it was a toy. Accidentally happened to be. So ungrateful person. But of course, the person who gave the gift keeps reminding him, it is purposefully given to you, although you don't know me, because you haven't seen me, but the way you received it definitely demonstrates that I am a conscious being, deliberately arranged everything for you, and adapted all the parts of the tool, the universe, according to your expectations for a perfect purpose, continuously reminding. He says, no, 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 throughout his life. Rejects and becomes an ungrateful person, which represents the deniers. And when the toy is not functioning anymore, this man says, that's it, I'm done. I'm not going to entertain this toy again. All right. These are the descriptions of the Quran, how we develop or educate our spirit. It's a perfect way of simple examples we find in the Quran. All these, what I uh, shared with you, although while I'm speaking to you, the verses just like goes, how do you say, subtitled. This refers to this verse, this refers to this verse. Beautiful education that we receive from the Quran, if only we shouldn't take the Quran as simple as we read it literally. Everything is figurative, referring to the reality, and we shouldn't just read it literally. So those people who take the word as a toy, this is in fact for you a toy, but perfectly arranged gift to you. Don't turn it into a toy. Don't deal with the word as a toy. It is a precious gift for you. But those people who treat the word as something lost property, found, and just treat it as a toy, at the end they will be deprived of this precious precious creation again. Now, believer situation is just on the opposite. So I say, while everything is taking place while I am in this world, the result is described in the Quran. However I treat this universe, I will be treated exactly while I am in the intermediary world, realm, and after I have taken away from the airplane, when I get off the airplane, I will be treated, okay, you always insulted the pilot while you were in the world. So you were waiting in the intermediate realm on the plane, still full of fear that I'm going to disappear, disappear, disappear. Okay, then, if you think that either there is no pilot, you just happen to be, and you will disappear, I will treat you as such. That is hell, that is paradise. We should understand all these descriptive, figurative teachings of the Quran as analogies, 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 referring to my responsibility while I am in this world. How am I going to educate my spirit? That is why this realm of intermediate life, intermediate realm, existence in the intermediate realm uh, is an uh, just a reminder for us that whatever we feel in this world, for example, if someone has a very bad experience in this world, what does he does? He dreams of nightmare. Why? According to him, it was a very bad, meaningless, unfortunate, unlucky event happened with no benefit in it. He didn't think of the wisdom and put his belief, trust in the creator of this universe. They didn't have a positive attitude. God says, look, your spirit is being tortured because of your choice. So there are lots of examples of how my reality is going to be in the hereafter, the next creation, according to how I treat my spirit. There are different examples that we can take from the creation. Everything is created in a perfectly wise way. We have to pay attention to the things are created and try to see the wisdom in them. That is what I understood from this subject and from the summary of our friend Anne. If anyone wants to join, share, otherwise we can continue. If anyone wants to make comment on it and questions, I would love to hear. If not, we can continue reading, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, so I will start reading from the third point of the 23rd word. Belief is both light and strength. Yes, one who acquires true belief may challenge the whole universe and be saved from the pressure of events in accordance with the strength of his belief. Saying, I place my trust in God, the creator of the universe, He travels through the mountainous waves of events in the ship of life in complete safety. He entrusts all his burdens to the hand of power of the absolutely powerful one, voyages through the world in ease, then takes up his rest in the intermediate realm. Later, he may fly up to paradise in order to enter eternal happiness. Otherwise, if he does not rely on God, rather than flying, the burdens of the world will drag him down to the lowest of the low. That is to say, one, belief necessitates affirmation of divine unity. Two, affirmation of divine unity necessitates submission to God. Three, submission to God necessitates reliance on God. And four, reliance on God necessarily leads to happiness in this world and the next. But do not misunderstand. Reliance on God is not to reject causes altogether. It is rather to know that causes are a veil to the hand of power and have recourse to them. Knowing that attempting causes is a sort of act of prayer, it is to seek the effects only from Almighty God. Recognize that the results are from Him alone. And five, to be thankful to Him.
Thank you. So very interesting points are mentioned here. Would you like to share any takeaway from the paragraph? From the beginning, we can.
Well,
Okay.
this is I'll just briefly say that this is sort of building on what was in the second point, that if you trust the hand of the ship if you trust that the ship is in the hands of the power of Allah, then you don't have to worry about carrying the burdens by yourself, because you are traveling in complete safety.
Yes. As if I need some bread. So bread is made of wheat. Now, if you say the wheat, how can I create wheat? You can't. And just look, it is growing. If you say, but it is accidental. It happened to be in this way. So you cannot trust accident at all in your whole life. Accident may happen, may not happen, because unconscious. It is not deliberate. But it happened that accidentally this year I had some wheat. Next year, it means after I die, I don't know, accidental. Accidental. They say the universe is accidentally formed itself in this perfect form by itself. I don't know how they explain how it came into existence from the first place, but this is just total nonsense. Just obstinate denial. We don't want to accept there is a creator. They explain, we are going to explain the universe within itself, but we cannot explain the growth of wheat. For example, any of them. how it developed by itself. But changing in time, not lots of excuses, billions of years of accidental things. One of them feet, just speculations. Anyways, but we have to be honest to our capacity, to our observations. We have to understand that really this universe is perfectly arranged by a one who must be absolutely powerful, by a one who must be absolutely powerful. The plane is going, everything is perfectly arranged in the airplane. It must have a conscious pilot or engineer, maker, I mean, owner of this airplane. That is why, although airplane, the pilot is in the whatever they call where the pilots stay, they're not accessible to me because, of course, in reality, pilot of the universe cannot be describable within the conditions of the universe. That is why there must be, Quran says you have to believe in ghaib. It means not of the nature of this universe, which is simply translated as unseen. Not within the universe. That's why you cannot find the maker within the universe. As if, as in the example, I cannot find the author in the book. It is crazy to look for the author in the book somewhere. Where is it? They will take you to a mental hospital if you are looking for the author of the book in the papers of the book. Something describing the author with the elements of some sort of parts of the book. They will say you are crazy. But unfortunately, this is the problem of our age. That's why we stay on it and repeat this point in order to make our heart and our mind comfortable. Otherwise, we will be really taken away like many people are, and we will be living in this world with no purpose, no trust, whatever. If we believe in God, this is makes everything meaningful, and you will be full of hope, and you will say, okay, I cannot make the wheat, but my creator is creating it. He is the owner of the universe. Everything is arranged by him. The galaxy is arranged by him, the globe of Earth and the relationship between the Earth and the sun is arranged, everything perfectly taken care of. The clouds are there, the water can become in a perfect and wise way ice, and also liquid, again perfect, and also evaporated, so steam-like, and rising up, getting together, arranged. Wind system is arranged, so taking the transportation is free, or water transportation, but that a huge amount of water transportation is taking free just because of the changes, temperature changes in different parts of the globe of Earth. Perfectly arranged, perfectly arranged. Pressure is in the atmosphere so perfectly arranged that steam goes up and at the top stops at some point and transported wherever it is going to be distributed. Perfectly arranged, arranged. So this order of the universe obviously points to the necessary existence of a conscious, perfect being. So we believe, when we believe on it, in this creator, in this owner of the universe, you understand that the whole universe itself cannot do anything to me. That's why true belief may challenge the whole universe. It means you cannot act by yourself. You cannot do anything to me or matter, but you are employed and be saved from the pressure of events in accordance with the strength of belief. That is important now. If we understand the universe is existed in this world, created in this world, then you can save yourself from the pressure of events that you are encountered, you are facing. So according to your understanding of the creation, you understanding of the universe in general, you treat all the events that we encounter. Universe cannot exist. This event also cannot exist by itself accidentally. So it depends, your pleasure of your life totally depends on the strength of belief. These are very precious sentences. So something happens. Of course, if someone deliberately harms you, you know what to do within the social construction of your life. But as far as the existence of the event is concerned, it is deliberately arranged because nothing in the universe can act by itself. Now, this person says, I place my trust in God. It means, something happened that I didn't like. I place my trust in God. He is arranging it. Let me think what I am going to do. Now, so we don't think that we are going to create, but what we are going to do now, the process is that now I jumped here. What are we going to do? Knowing that attempting causes is a sort of active prayer. That is excellent. Yeah, that's essential. While we are trying to do something, for example, cultivating the land, for example, in order to have something going and taking it there, all the power the human body is given the quality to do something. I am using it to just get the result. All of them are not creative actives, but asking the creator to create the result in the next moment. I attempt, he creates. As if knock at the door, he opens the door. That's why we don't know what will happen next moment. Next moment, what will be created next moment. What we do, we choose according to the creator says, okay, I'm going to create according to your choice. So whatever you choose, I will create it. If you choose by following the way I create, it means you have to obey me, I will grant you the result. But obeying God, that is a sort of active prayer, is an excellent point. We should never miss it. Following the way the creator is creating, and I'm learning it, he gave me the ability to learn, it is obeying God. That is called active prayer, which means doing something by obeying the order of the universe. It means obeying the will of its creator. according to my prayer, if I have performed my prayer correctly, I will be given the result. If I don't obey the Creator's way of creating perfectly, and I said, no, you didn't obey me perfectly, I'm not going to give you the result. That is how the arrangement is taking place within the order of the universe, the order in which we found ourselves, and our human qualities can perceive it, can understand it. So we are learning. We are giving the ability to learn. What are we learning? What the scientists are learning? How the Creator is creating. So when they obey the way the God creates, the way God creates, okay, you made your prayer perfectly, whether you're conscious or not, you are conscious or not, you are conscious of me or not. Since you did your job perfectly, I will grant it. Now, to interpret how it is created, you may refer it to the owner of the universe, you may refer it to nature, something happened, accidentally happened. According to your spirit will experience the result. You are educating yourself. But whoever does the active prayer, it means attempting the way the universe is created, which is called causes, because if I do this, God will create this. That is how he promises me. I would rather say attempting the cause, attempting causes means obeying God's command. It means this is how I made it. If you obey me, I will grant you the result, create you next moment. I think this point is extremely, extremely important if we understand what we are doing in this world. As if we are creating, we may think one extreme point. The other one, God creates, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to knock at the door and God will open the door for me. God says, you didn't ask me, you didn't want from me, you didn't acknowledge me in an active way, just said, I do everything, but I do everything according to your, how to say, uh, asking me to do. You are not requiring from me, I'm not going to give you. Although I give you the food, for example, but you didn't say, I am hungry, give me the food, acknowledge me. But some people acknowledge the creator, some people doesn't acknowledge the creator, acknowledge the creator, but acknowledge nature. But still, the way they act is the right way. That's why the scientists work in the laboratories, laboratoires. Why? To find out how to get the result from the creator. So next moment is created according to our choices. So this process is described and summarized here. One, if I believe that this universe must have an owner, that necessitates divine affirmation of divine unity. So there must be an absolute being. Second stage, if I conclude that there must be an absolute being, necessitates submission to him. Now, you are the one who arranged everything. You are the one who is putting you in, who has put you in this position. The third stage, I'm just summarizing, the time is up. If you submit, whatever happens to you coming from him, leads you, no. Sorry, 3, submission to God necessitates reliance on God. Now, since you know everything, since you created everything perfectly, I rely your choice. I don't criticize you. When you rely on God's choice, this necessarily leads to happiness in the world and next, because he knows it is best for me. So I'm not worrying anymore. Why? Because I'm in good hands. So this is whatever happens afterwards, we come here to 5. If you experience the happiness in this world, of course, expecting to be satisfied according to the capacity of your spirits, which are infinite. So this happiness requires and necessitates that we have to be thankful to him. We have to be thankful to him. I think this process of reasoning makes perfect fit according to human reality. That's what I have to share with you. A very, very helpful paragraph. This is the road map of human journey in this world. Inshallah, we will try and continue to benefit from the rest of these explanations, inshallah, next Saturday. Anyone? Any more comment? Otherwise, we will stop here, and inshallah, I'll see you next Saturday or Monday. Unfortunately, next Tuesday, I won't be able to be in New York. So something came up. Inshallah, following Tuesday. But Saturday, I am here. Inshallah. Monday, I am here. And then Saturday. Only missing Tuesday discussion. Unfortunately, it happened to be in this way, out of my hand. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة